When calculating probabilities, they're usually based on some sort of random experiment. So for example, rolling a dice or playing some sort of a roulette game or finding the next fault in a factory lineup. Now these outcomes can usually be divided into discrete distributions or discrete numbers, or continuous distributions or continuous numbers. Now to really dive into the differences between these two key definitions, let's look at an example. Okay, so another important aspect of this topic is in regards to indices. And so to show you an example of that, we're going to attempt to actually calculate Peter's CPI. So let's assume that Peter only consumes two types of goods, either coffee or chocolate. And we've got actually price data relating to 2001 and 2005. Okay, so let's say we want to calculate the simple price index for the year 2005. So let's have a look at the formula before we do that. So that is calculated by summing all the prices in the year of interest, divide by all your prices in the base year, multiplied by 100, which basically just converts it to a percentage. Okay, so the base year in this case is 2001. Okay, so let's attempt this calculation. We're going to sum all the prices in your year of interest, in this case 2005. So we've got 3 plus 5. Divide by all your prices in your base year, so that's 2 plus 8. And then we're going to convert that to a percentage by just hitting this percentage button here, which automatically it's done that for us. Or you can just multiply by 100, which will achieve the same result. Okay, so how do I interpret this this value here? Well, the base year would have a value of 100%. So since this is actually lower to 100 by 20%, I can make the following interpretation. Prices in 2005 was 20% lower than prices in 2001, being your base year. But let's suppose this was not 80%. Let's suppose this was, like, say, 130%, right? What's the interpretation there? I can say prices in 2005 was 30% higher than prices in 2001, being your base year. Okay. The only problem with simple price indices is that it does not take into consideration changes in quantities. So remember, we're trying to measure my costs, right? Or some sort of gauge of my costs. But let's suppose in 2005, even though we have lower prices in coffee and chocolate, it seems, or on average lower prices, let's say by 20%, let's say my quantities in these goods actually change. So let's say in 2005, I've just broken up with my girlfriend, and so that's caused me to suffer from severe depression. So let's say that would cause me to consume much more coffee than usual and definitely much more chocolate than usual. What would be what would be a good gauge to measure my cost then? Well, we'll need an index that actually takes into consideration changes in quantities. And we actually do have that in the form of the Lesperus index and the Pache index. So the Lesperus index takes into quantities in the base year, and the Pache index takes into quantities in your year of interest. So in today's topic, we talked about the difference between continuous distributions and discrete distributions, with the discrete distributions the main distribution of interest. We also had a little bit of a chat about price indices and the usefulness in terms of maybe calculating costs. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.